Hello and welcome. We're the Gem Club. My name is Christian and I'm a business major here at Solano, alongside Amy, Maria, and Mallory, who are all nursing majors. Today our topic is going to be the pros and cons of working while going to school. And we'll start off by explaining a couple of our personal experiences with this subject. Amy?
Thank you, Christian. I've been working since I was 16, and originally I got it because to just kind of pass time when I was out of school, and I just got my first car, so I had to get a job because my mom and dad were not about to pay for any of that. So started at 16, and then I've just been working since then. I continued to work through college because I've lived on my own and moved out when I was 18. So I really had no choice but to continue working and paying for rent and paying for any other bills I had. So yeah, that's basically why I work, to pay for bills and pay for stuff, and it's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. So what about you?
I also started working when I was 16, and when I applied and got a job, my mom actually kind of set me out there, like, you're 16, you're able to work, so go out there and get a job. So I was like, okay, yeah, it's what my friends were doing too. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll work. I didn't really have bills or anything, so it's nice having that money. But now going to school and having a car and all the other expenses, I'm working to also pay off bills. And I've been working since I've been at Solano for 3 years now, and I continue. I plan on continuing to work.
So I actually didn't start working until I was 18, and I really started working because I was going to school. I was commuting out here to Solano, and I mean, from Winters, that's a bit of a drive, so I was doing it to pay for my gas. I was doing it so that I had money to go out and do stuff with my friends. But I really just, I didn't have that many bills to pay until I moved out, which was then when, things got real. I worked to pay for bills, and so once you move out, it changes a lot, but
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. What do you guys feel like you've gained from working while going to school?
Personally, I've gained time management heavily, having to work around work and going to school, and having to communicate that like with my boss and like with coworkers and stuff. So you really have to learn how to just be on your game like immediately, and how to manage my money, I think, better too.
Definitely.
So, I mean, for me personally.
Even now, I kind of suck at saving.
Yeah, same.
Time management for sure, even balancing school. It's nice when you only have one job and you only have to, I've only been with my one job since I was 16, so they know. But when you're jumping around or have other jobs too, it's harder.
Oh yeah, definitely. When I was at Sac State a few years ago, I was actually going to school full time and working 2 other jobs, and seasonally sometimes I was working 3. So time management was a huge thing for me, having to communicate between jobs when I could work, communicate, with my school, making sure that my schedule works out, not just
time
for
to study.
Time to study, not just in the very beginning, but throughout the semester. So it was really time management, and I also learned how to save money, in all honesty, because you have to budget for your tuition, you have to budget for your books, you have to budget for gas, you have to budget for so many different things, and you got to make sure that it works out.
Yeah, budgeting. I didn't even think about that. When you have to, I think I was talking to you guys about this, you have to realize that you have bills to pay first now, and then you can buy all the fun stuff later. Whereas before, you're like, oh my gosh, I have all this money. I'm just going to, spend it as I please. And then it's like, oh, okay, wait, I have to pay PG&E, my water, my this and that. And then whatever inkling of what I have left over is
and it's
what
hard
I have.
in our world where we've all been waitresses, so it's
Yeah.
like you have cash
Cash
on hand all the time.
Living
So
off
when
our
you-
tips.
Yeah,
Yes.
when you get that good weekend, and you're like, oh my gosh, now I get to go do all these fun things. But you know, you learn budgeting really quick when you spend that tip
Totally.
money and you don't have much of a paycheck. So
Totally.
it's definitely been an eye opener, I think, working and going to school.
But
I
a
think
good
it's
thing.
also helped us like socialize better too, especially working in
Yeah.
I think we all
Yeah.
work right in the service industry. So you meet a lot of different people and have to deal with a lot of people.
Yeah.
So you learn how to do that, and that's nice.
Yeah, and I think it carries over into your school life as well.
Yeah.
Learning
For
how to
sure.
deal
You're
with
not
different
as
people. and-
scared to approach people.
Exactly.
Or,
Ask questions.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
yeah.
When I first got my job, it really opened me up to like actually having to walk up and talk to someone and
Yeah.
have like, you know, that person or persona. That's really interesting to me about the budgeting because I'm on the path to move out on my own right now. So,
Oh.
and I brought it up to my parents and they're like, oh, do you have a paper budget or have you written out a budget yet? I was like, what is that? So I had to like, you know, really do all that and figure it out on my own. So
Yeah.
it's new to me. I was barely saving as it was, but so it's definitely going to be a challenge in this
Yeah.
next coming
Definitely
year.
helps
So
you grow.
Yeah.
You'll be good.
You become an adult, you know, adulting.
Well, kind of.
yeah, we'll see how that comes in the next few months or so.
Definitely.
Alrighty, so we'll be right back with our second subject up to FAFSA and getting a job here on Solano campus.
Hi, I'm Dr. Celia Esposito Noy. Thanks for watching the Solano College Sports Network.
Alrighty, welcome back. Right now we'll be moving into our second segment, which is going to be FAFSA and jobs here at Solano Community College. So none of us have any personal experience with workplace on the campus, but Mallory has gained some information and she'll tell you that here.
Yeah, definitely. So what I did was I really went in and actually spoke to the financial aid office. I had never been there before. Even though I've applied for financial aid, I never used it as a source because I felt like it may have been a simple process, although going through it myself, I found that it's definitely not a simple process. It
Yeah.
takes a lot of work and a lot of research. Something that I was really excited that I found was that they have a lot of literature on how to do what we, get financial aid, what we need to do, and it makes it really helpful. And something that I really liked when I went up is that they don't just have it in English. They have it in Spanish. They have specialists that work there. And it was really cool to go up, and I waited a few minutes. I talked to the lady in the front, and I told her, I said, I'm really just interested in knowing what are the basics? What do I need to know about not only financial aid, but getting a job here and work study? Because that's
Yeah.
really what we want to focus on is work study.
Yeah.
Since none of us, as Christian said, none of us have any experience with that. It could be a really good tool for either Christian, who is the youngest here, going through Solano in his first semester,
Yeah.
and for us, who will be going on to different universities here in the very near future to learn about what is offered. So when I was talking to her, she said the biggest thing is, financial aid, you need a 2.0 or higher. That's the biggest thing. For work study, you have to apply for financial aid. You have to be approved by financial aid. And you have to show a need for financial aid and for work study.
Yeah.
So what work study does is they work around your school schedule, and they actually make it so that you don't have to find your own job. A job finds you. So, we've all
Here
been
on campus too, right?
here on campus,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's not just Fairfield. So if you live in Vallejo, they will find you work study in Vallejo. If you live in Vacaville and you go to the Vacaville campus all the time, they will find you a job at the Vacaville campus. It's really helpful, and they try to make it so that what your area of study is being utilized. I mean, we're nursing majors, so we probably here at Solano wouldn't actually get nursing experience,
Yeah.
but what they really focus on is clerical work. And so
Yeah.
as we've seen in the library when we've done our research, they have students doing work study there at the library, students doing work study over in the other area of the library where we go and use the computers, financial aid, they have them at the counseling office. So it's really cool.
Cafeteria.
Cafeteria, yeah, definitely. So when I was talking to her, I kind of asked her if they had a list of any of the jobs, so that if we were interested, we could find them. And they don't. However, they have a specialist. In all honesty, we don't really need a list because the specialist reaches out and puts you in that place.
But can you choose, can you make descriptions of what you would prefer to do? or is it
seems
just
that
like
way? It seems like
Yeah.
they really tailor it toward your major, and like
Okay.
as I said, it's clerical work, so
yeah.
it can't be
Yeah.
tailored that closely. But I mean, if you're interested in being a
try
teacher,
to.
yeah, I'm
because
sure
they do
could-
ask you, like,
Yeah.
what's your schedule and what's your major.
Yeah.
and they-
Exactly.
For
And it's-
once, to actually ask, the work is focusing on you, working around your schedule.
Exactly, and you don't have to
Which-
be
Yeah.
put in a tough situation where you're like, do I go to school or do I work? Because
Yeah.
they're already working around your schedule as it is. So they understand that school's the number one priority, whereas other employers don't really understand that because your priority
Yeah.
is working.
Yeah.
And so it's a really good tool for students that either live on their own or they just need a little bit extra help while they're going to school.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just here at Solano, it's at all campuses.
Yeah.
Maria and I are both transferring out next semester, and our college actually has really good programs that are work study that are offered to all of the students, including tutoring and
Yeah.
clerical work, just the same. And
But it also looks really good too. Like,
Exactly.
I know with just the applying process, applying out to different colleges and stuff, it's always asked if you've had some work study at your college or anything
How
like
involved
that.
you are with the work in the college.
Because they really pay
Yeah.
attention to that. I mean, you kind of just think of it as another, just a little side job here, but it's not. It totally goes into
your
you
involvement.
transferring.
Yeah, and it shows involvement in your
Yeah.
school. And if you are involved in, work study, you're obviously putting forth a lot of effort toward your school. So it looks really, really good.
Yeah.
And it seems pretty easy to apply for. Just
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Under
Very
the same
easy.
Yeah.
financial aid, you just click on the button. Yes, I'm interested in work study.
Definitely.
So and yeah, that's nice.
Alrighty. And what about FAFSA? Have you guys had any personal experiences with FAFSA, going through the process of FAFSA?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we've all tried to apply for FAFSA, and
Yeah.
for me, my parents are divorced, and I used my dad for a while, and then I couldn't get any through him. 'Cause,
Yeah.
he makes too much. But then, using another parent is easier. So you can look at it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, for you guys that are moved out, maybe it's easier for you.
Yes and no.
Yeah, I would like FAFSA and going through the financial aid process has always been confusing. I think no matter what semester you're in. I mean, even now, I just was there again this morning because I had more questions about things. It's, I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, it's
It-
hard also because we're all working students. We have
Yeah.
to put in our income and our parents' income.
Yes.
So
And things
Yeah, I
change, I feel like, with FAFSA and financial aid all the time. So it's like they have like a new process or procedure, or depending on your age, or depending on your parents' income, and if that changes.
And whether or not you're a dependent student.
Yeah, changes like so
Everything.
much.
Yeah.
So,
And so
but it's
I
helpful
just-
though too,
Yeah.
obviously.
It
Yeah.
is. And it's interesting because I just turned 25 this year. So when I turned 24, I was finally eligible for financial aid because I lived at home until I was 23. And so I can never get financial aid because my parents made too much money. I was an independent student. You have to be a dependent student, meaning your parents don't claim you on their taxes, or be 24 years old.
Yeah.
So that's something that a lot of people don't realize. If your parents are still claiming you on their taxes, but you're not living at home, that can cause trouble. If they make too much money, you will be ineligible for financial aid, which isn't really fair because
Yeah.
I mean, although you probably are receiving help from them, but you might not. So it's a little bit difficult. However, I do think that once you are 24, once you're an independent student, it makes the process a lot simpler. Although, as we talked about the other day, it would be helpful if, you were
Yeah.
interested in financial aid for them to have
Some
almost
type
like
of
a
seminar.
seminar
Yeah.
to teach you, because when
Yeah.
I mean,
We
you
don't
had an experience the
realize,
other day where they told you say that your household income was, or your household number was 0.
I don't know. I'm
Which-
still confused about it, honestly. That's why I went back
Yeah.
again today.
And so it's confusing. I mean, unless you are able to go and talk to them
Yeah.
multiple times
Yeah.
before the process, you don't really know if you're doing it right.
Yeah.
And so, some sort of
Well, there's
seminar-
like little tricks and there's little things that you can do, and they tell you. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like it's a secret, but
But if you do one thing wrong, that can easily
Yeah.
get you
Oh, yeah.
disqualified
The whole
from
thing.
even getting financial aid to
Exactly.
begin with. So
Exactly.
it's so hard because, and then you do it each year.
Yeah.
So it's different.
yeah, so a seminar I would have taken that in a heartbeat
Oh, yeah.
if that was offered.
Definitely.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I definitely needed to take it because I'm just applied for FAFSA at my next university that I'll be applying to. So
Yeah, and they might have
it's
different
just
things.
same thing. It's
and,
different. It's completely different
talking
than
to
the one here
different
too.
people.
And how was your experience with that? I know you met with
They were very nice, but they didn't give me a lot of information. So they were very nice to me. I was like, oh, I'm transferring here from a separate school. She's like, oh, that's fine. Well, here's the packet, and come back to us in a week. And I live
And
here
fill it out
versus
by- yeah.
and I live here, so that's in Sacramento. So I'm gonna have to drive back out there. And then I put in another call asking about it, like, oh, can I come in before a week? She's like, oh no, we're not accepting them for another week. I was like, oh, okay.
So it's difficult.
So it was difficult, but the packet itself was kind of confusing of information she gave me.
Yeah.
They were very nice about it, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But now you have to take time out of your
Yeah,
school and your
definitely.
work to do that as well. So it's hard.
It is hard.
But
it's
once
worth
you
it.
do get that money, it's nice.
Yeah,
You're like, okay.
Because, yeah.
definitely. Alrighty. So to conclude our second segment, and now we'll be running into our third segment after the break on would we accept a job here at Solano, and would we do it for our personal lives? That was terrible. Anyways.
Work study. There you go.
Work
Would
study.
we choose work study over
Work study.
our personal jobs?
That was a good segment.
Was that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was getting worried that we were getting, not off topic, but we were so interested in financial aid.
I know. I almost
I
wanted to
know.
start bitching a little bit, and I was like,
Yeah, but I was like,
I'm
wait,
gonna
this
step-
isn't about
pull
fixing
back.
financial aid. This
Because
is
we're
about.
the energy picks up and it's just real natural.
Yeah.
You're giving good content.
Okay, good.
All right, you guys ready
Okay, what
for
are we
the
talking
next
about?
segment?
Oh,
Yeah.
work study.
Gentlemen, ready? Go.
I was like, oh my
Literally.
God.
Again, on this one, stay on 3, and I'm gonna zoom back as he's doing
already
his
11:40.
intro. So don't move, just stay with me, and then as soon as one of the girls start talking, then go to camera 2.
We
or to
had to have
camera-
done
Is it
already
3
at
on
least
the other
15
side?
minutes.
Oh, yeah.
1.
Easily.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm sure more.
Okay, and then I'm on camera 1 right
And
now.
then Christian's going to end it.
On 3.
Again. That's it.
Cool.
You're
Yeah.
gonna- That's going to be the last
You guys
one,
all
right?
set?
Like, thank you and that's
Yeah.
it.
All right, here we go.
Alrighty, welcome back. For the segment 3, we're going to be talking about work study and would we accept it versus our normal jobs and what we do right now.
So me personally, I work in a hospital, and so I have that job to help and aid me in going to nursing school. And it's just been a huge learning experience for me personally. So that's not something that I would want to give up. If I could do maybe some work study on the side, like very briefly, I could do that. But I'm so busy as it is with that and going to school that it would be kind of hard for me. And I have a lot of bills to pay, so I really need that moolah. So
Just steady
For sure.
income to
yeah,
pay your bills.
yeah. But if I didn't have bills really as much to pay, I would definitely consider it.
Yeah, I haven't moved out, but if I had known how easy it was
Yeah.
to apply for work study and all the different positions and opportunities there are available, I probably would have done it earlier on. Because I'm here, I carpool, so because I'm driving from Winters, it's a long drive.
Yeah.
So I carpool, and I'm usually waiting for another person, or another person's waiting for me, because for other classes, because we don't have the same schedule. So with that in between time, I could have, been
Oh,
doing
yeah,
work
that's
study.
true.
You could have
so.
taken advantage of
good
the
point.
time that you were here.
So I wish I had known. But now, since I'm transferring out and going to another university, probably look into it then and see
Definitely.
how my schedule is and if it works out. Yeah, but it's hard
Yeah.
because
It's
you
hard.
do want that money, and you
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
because we probably make more money with our jobs right now than work study. I'm not sure what it is for.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure it's
I'm not sure what the
probably
pay
minimum.
is, but
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
So, but
and
it
for
is
me-
nice when they work around your schedule.
yeah.
So there are benefits to it.
Totally.
Definitely. And I mean, for me as well, living in winters, it is difficult to think of, driving all the way out here, spending your whole day here because you're working here, and then going home. And I work in winters, I live in winters, so it's easy, to do stuff outside. However, I'm also transferring out, and I looked into work study because I have friends who did their nursing program, and they did a lot of work study through it, and they really enjoyed it. It's a great tool in nursing school because you can do a lot of tutoring. You can do clerical work there as well. I know people who've done clerical work through work study at the other university, and it ends up being really helpful. I know a girl who graduated last spring who got a really prestigious award through her nursing university because she did a lot of work study and
Yeah.
was really helpful with admin. So I think that's, it kind of shows where it's a really good tool. For me personally, coming into the next year, I'm doing an accelerated nursing program.
Yeah.
And I was
Hard.
told that there's pretty much no way to do work study or tutoring while you're in the program. I would have loved to take advantage of it because I think it really reinforces a lot of the material that you've learned throughout your nursing program. However, it's definitely not feasible with the schedule that I'll be going into. However, like I said, I mean, you're going into the same program that I had friends graduate from. I think it'd be really cool if you could do the work study because although different times or different types of work study pay you different. So I think she said one of my friends did it online. So she did virtual tutoring. And for each hour, it was something like $20 an hour. And then you can do it for multiple students and you get paid, even if they all join in on the same hour, you get paid per student. I mean, if you have 3 students,
Yeah.
you can
So there's a
easy
lot of
$60.
opportunities for that.
There are, and I mean, it's a
Yeah.
little different to pay, especially if you're not living at home. It's like once a month, which I mean, I couldn't even
Scary.
imagine not, paying bills and getting paid once a month when you're on a fixed income would be a little bit different and a little
Yeah.
bit difficult. But I mean, living at home and doing your work study would definitely be a really good opportunity, I think.
Yeah.
And
And
also,
Christian
you're
as well.
always learning.
Oh, always.
Always learning. So you're never at a point where, counseling and tutoring students, I've always thought was awesome because they're not just teaching you, they're reinforcing themselves. Because a lot of the times, like my anatomy and my physio teachers, they were in some other type of class at the time too, doing something similar to that. So they were like reteaching themselves as well.
Yeah.
So that I think is a huge benefit in itself,
Yeah,
besides
definitely.
even the money. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And I'm sure if your schedule got like too hectic too, they
Yeah.
would-
Yeah.
again, because they're
work around
they're
it.
working around you. So
Yeah.
it's a huge
for
pro.
sure.
Yeah, especially I mean like during the hardest part I think, not doing work study and working on our own was that during finals, our schedules are so different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that sneaks up on you and you have to realize like how much studying goes into finals.
Yeah.
And you have to take that into account with your work schedule. So work study, I mean, already takes that into account, I believe. And so it'd be a great tool, especially for someone young like Christian in his
Yeah.
first semester of college, to be able to take advantage would be really cool,
Yeah.
It'd be a great tool.
I've definitely looked into it as well, but my current job is just so putting me in the direction I want to go that if I was moving, I couldn't really spend time doing that versus,
Exactly.
a different job, especially if in a new environment like that.
Yeah.
But let's say I went to somewhere like out of state maybe, or maybe somewhere out of a very familiar area, I would definitely do that
Oh, yeah.
because
Yeah.
starting from like the inside out, you're starting from your school, your campus would literally be your work and your life, especially if you're like dorming there as well.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere,
Super
you know,
convenient.
Yeah, super convenient. Wouldn't have to worry about going anywhere, commuting or anything like that. So
Oh,
if
yeah.
it was starting on a different university or a different campus of an unknown area, I would definitely do it. Start from the
And it's good
inside
that
out.
you find out all this information early on.
Yeah, definitely.
Versus later on.
Versus
when you're
us who are like,
Yeah.
oh, well,
Like,
wish we
darn.
did that.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
gonna come
so
really
it's
helpful in the
really
future
good,
here.
Yeah.
It's really helpful.
Thank you, thank you. Well, I appreciate all of your guys' insight for me on what's going to come for these next years, and I hope you guys the best on whatever happens in nursing school as well as the next few years.
Thank you.
You too.
Alrighty.
Transferring.
And thank you for tuning in. My name's Christian, and we are the Gem Club.
Thank you.